rowing on a rowing machine or hitting a cycle, Soul Cycle or out jogging or being active, it's the best pair you'll ever wear. It's free, guaranteed, right, Dawson?
And right now, you get 20% off your first order at TommyJohn.com/Adam. That's 20% off your first order of underwear and loungewear at TommyJohn.com/Adam. TommyJohn.com/Adam. See site for details.
All right, we'll take a quick break. Jack Carr is going to hang with us. We'll be right back with the news right after this.
Give me the news with Grad. News with Gino Grad. Breaking, viral, weird crime, protest, politics. Give me news with Gino Grad. Stuff face on TMZ. Joe Biden. Kamala. Big news with Gino Grad.
The news with Gina Grad.
Hey, quick question for Jack.
Yes, sir.
In terms of people acclimating when they come back from the theater of operations back here, I'm not an expert in this because I never served. I was never a Navy SEAL, but I have been around a little bit, did a lot of construction, played a lot of Pop Warner football. Does it drive you insane what incredible pussies everyone has turned into in this fucking country? Like, I have zero tolerance for everyone turning into a giant gaping snatch. It's fucking ridiculous. If you're over a certain age and you've been on a construction site and you played some ball and you've ridden a motorcycle, it just feels like everyone is just a fucking colossal puss. And for you, it must be 1,000 times what I experience on a daily basis.
I mean, I totally understand exactly. I understand exactly what
you're talking about. You don't know my pain.
You boxed. You boxed too. I boxed growing up as well. And, being in that ring, that's some of the hardest. When I was in Buds, actually, I thought about being in the ring. I thought about early days in jiu-jitsu in the early 90s when Brazilian jiu-jitsu first got here and just how hard that ring time was, how hard that time on the mat was as I was going through SEAL training and Hell Week and all that sort of thing. But yeah, it does. And what I think about, what actually hurts more than that is just thinking about everything that people sacrificed from the inception of this country up until today to give us these freedoms, give us these opportunities. They sacrificed everything for us. And now here we are getting upset at this and that and actually championing the curtailing of the freedoms that these people died for, that came back missing arms and legs from different battlefields around the world. So that's kind of what I think about more often than not, is just how sad that is.
All right, Gina, you can get on with your news. Buds is basic underwater demolition, right?
That's right.
Buds.
Basic underwater demolition SEAL training. Nice work.
Underwater demolition?
Boom.
Oh, yeah. Boom.
Damn. That's the hottest thing I've ever heard of.
I know.
All right. Well, a St. Paul man has been sentenced to 41 months in prison for his role in the burning of the Minneapolis Police Department 3rd Precinct during protests last year. 23-year-old Brandon Wolf, along with a crowd of hundreds gathered at the 3rd Precinct on May 28th last year, pushed a barrel into a fire located in the entrance of the 3rd Precinct headquarters with the intent to accelerate the existing fire. Wolf was arrested in June of last year while he was wearing several stolen items and pleaded guilty last December.
I know where I got this Kango hat? Don't ask.
To one count of conspiracy.
I'm just saying as an example. Could have been any hat.
You asked me if I wanted to know, and now you're saying don't ask.
Don't ask.
And talk about an empty bag. Along with his prison sentence, Wolf was sentenced to 2 years of supervised release and ordered to pay $12 million in restitution. And he's not alone. Last week, another man, Dylan Shakespeare Robinson, was sentenced to 4 years of prison, pleading guilty to one count of conspiracy to commit arson as well in the burning of the precinct. He also ordered 2 years of supervised release, $12 million restitution.
I bet he could only rustle up like 8.7.
Yeah, 8.5 maybe.
Without a little more advance notice.
I think you're right.
Pick up a lot of litter on the side of the highway.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ. Well, good.
I mean, is that just just so we can say what? You're not going to get $24 million.
Well, I think it's like what we do when we give a guy like 14 consecutive life sentences.
Yeah.
It's like,
message.
Yeah, we're just going, you're going to die in prison.
Right.
I mean, that's how we do the law.
And you'll never be able to work hard enough to pay this money back.
Right.
A series of love letters handwritten by President John F. Kennedy to his Swedish mistress are going up for sale at a Boston auction house, according to CNN. The intimate letters addressed to Gunilla von Post. She's an aristocrat he met weeks prior to his marriage to Jackie. Revealed
Gina,
Kennedy. Yeah.
As a woman, series of love letters. You finding a series of love letters that your man is writing to his mistress worse than finding the back of his sack when you come walking in and he's fucking her, right?
Yes.
As a guy, we don't want to see that. But as a woman, a series of love letters, much.
You can burn them, you can tear them up. Doesn't take that sting away. Doesn't take the
it's the effort.
Yeah, you can see
you
the
guys
penmanship
are all
when
about
you close your
effort.
eyes. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The fucking
we don't
part.
want Tori Amos's old flowers.
Yeah, that's happened to me.
That happened to Adam. I mean,
Well, she's a looker.
We don't want to see. Yeah, we have a picture of her.
But also, Jackie is probably thinking about the time that for their anniversary, he just sent a Secret Service guy out to buy some flowers from the Mexican guy at the gas station or something.
So he could see Marilyn.
They have a rose garden, for God's sake. You think
he dispatched someone from the kitchen to go pick something. She knows. It's effort, right?
You're absolutely right. And we have a picture of her. She was quite fetching. The 8-page collection, which includes 1 full letter and 2 partial messages, come from Von Post's personal collection. They're expected to fetch about $30,000. She died in 2011. Prior to her death, though, she wrote a memoir about her relationship with him called Love, Jack.
He had a lot of
concubines.
Yeah. Conquests.
He had a lot because I've seen a few people interviewed on him.
Yeah. And it's funny. I mean, isn't that kind of how it went with Martin Luther King? Like,
it's just kind of powerful men, it turns out.
Yeah. Who'd have thunk it?
We're not doing a retroactive Me Too, but for a guy with a bad back, he fucked a lot of strangers. You know what I mean? If you're banging your wife with a bad back, you can lay it out. Like, all right, here's the positions I can do. You understand with the sciatica and whatever.
Cirque du Soleil.
I need you to sign this.
I'm trying to prove anything to anyone.
Right. But when you're with the Swedish model who's 22,
good luck.
You can't go in there holding. Where's the domes?
You're the prez? No way, man.
Yeah.
A hemorrhoid donut.
That's
to bring his A game.
Wow.
$30,000.
Do we know what the letters said?
Do we have? I didn't see any photographs. There weren't any photographs in the archive of the letters. Mm-hmm. But hopefully we can rustle that up because I'd be interested as well. Unfortunately for France, that country just got a little bit smaller.
You know what?
Yeah.
Cheating used to just be a thing like you had, like polio. You know what I mean? Like, he loves the ladies. Yeah. But he's married to
one.
Wandering
eye.
Yeah, he's a man about town. It's like, okay, I guess just some condition he got, and he just fucks strangers.
What are you going to do?
Well, he loves ladies.
What can be done?
Yeah.
So I read today that the trust in government was at its height in the early part of JFK's presidency. So I'm not saying there's a direct correlation here between these two events, between trust in government and the mistress there. But I mean, I'm not saying that there's not either.
That's interesting.
Well, they say it's like the highest pressure job in the world. They always talk about how it ages everyone.
Yeah, everyone turns gray.
It didn't age Trump for some reason, but he just looked like shit at the beginning. But you see these guys getting gray. It's like so stressful. Well, if you could argue that, you should take saunas and steam baths and get a massage. You need stress reduction here.
Self-care.
That's banging an intern in the pool,
If that's what he's got to do, he's running the free world.
That's what I'm saying.
Question, and I would love...
we have a Kennedy letter from 1956.
Is this the one?
Yeah, and the penmanship is awful, but I must say, I was sad to learn that.
Yeah, you ever tried writing with a boner? You got to try it.
Now it makes sense.
It's so good.
With the boner, that's hard.
I must say that I was sad to learn that, after all, you are not coming to the U.S.
No.
If you don't marry, come over, as I should like to see you. I had a wonderful time last summer with you. It is a bright memory of my life. I am anxious to see you. Is it not strange after all these months? Perhaps at first it shall be a little difficult, as we shall be strangers, but not strangers. And I am sure it will all work, and I shall think that though it is a long way to Goodnilla, it is worth it.
Yeah,
wow.
That's her name.
Okay, time has passed.
That's 1956. When was he married?
He was a senator at that point, right? Because he was elected in 1960.
Yeah, it's on Senator paper here.
Oh, so this has been going on for a while because this was Gunilla came into the picture in 1953, according to this article.
But when did he marry Jackie?
1953, right?
I have no idea.
I don't know. I mean, somewhere in that time.
He met her, this article says,
At his wedding?
prior to his even before, prior to his 1953 marriage to Jackie.
Oh, okay.
Damn.
All right.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at least he's faithful, I guess.
Loves the
to his
ladies.
mistresses. Yeah. A Belgian farmer moved a 330-pound stone on his property just so he could make room for his tractor to go by. But what he didn't realize is that he actually moved the border between Belgium and France. Local historians were recently walking the area and noting a line of stone markers which are in place there, the 200-year-old border between the two countries. They noticed that one of the stones had been moved onto the French side, thus expanding the size of Belgium by 7 feet. While the town in Belgium was happy to have the space, the French town on the other side did ask him to move it back. The farmer was told to move the stone or he would be charged and fined.
Jack, what do you know about the Maginot Line?
Ooh, yeah, you don't want to be there. Yeah, I know that.
The French. Yeah, sorry.
Tell us.
The French built this thing called the Maginot Line, like after World War I, and they decided to build this great wall with all these tracks and ways to move armament and stuff, and keep, if Hitler got a little nutty or another European country. And they built all this stuff to move all this stuff to make their stuff sort of impenetrable. And then the Blitzkrieg came and they just flew right over it and bombed the shit out of France.
Because it was from the early 30s, right?
They probably started the Maginot Line after World War I. Yeah, probably in like the early 30s. And they weren't thinking about Stukas and
how could they?
Hurricanes.
Nice work, geniuses.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's all about adaptation. Yeah, all about adaptation. The enemy's always looking at us. We're always looking at them, and the Germans adapted.
Max Spada, find me the Maginot Line and like how long it was and what it was on the border of France and not Belgium, maybe. I don't know. And it didn't work.
It didn't work.
No,
that's the lesson.
They put a lot of time into it. It just didn't pay off. We should move it to the Mexican border out here. We should see if we can move the Maginot Line out there.
Something else that doesn't work?
Yeah.
It is constructed on the French side of its borders with Italy, Switzerland, Germany, and Luxembourg.
And what year was it?
1929 to 1938 was when they were building it.
Yeah. It's a big project. And I think they had like tunnels and railways and stuff, and they could move troops. And the whole plan was we're going to move troops where we need them, and we're going to move cannons where we need them. It's all in this railroad and this fortified.
Great plan.
Germans just rolled right over it.
Whoopsie.
Question
for Jack. I feel like it would have come up.
I watch a lot of the History Channel in case
you're wondering.
You don't know.
We were talking about how fast presidents go gray, and it's always been my thinking that part of that is because they're given all the secrets to all the extraterrestrial stuff.
The burden of knowledge.
Yes. Jack, any thoughts on that?
Well, I don't know about the extraterrestrial part, but in my latest novel, I did some research into this. So in The Devil's Hand, I did some research into this.
It's all bullshit.
Because I needed a character that that made his way to the presidency. He had a background. He comes from a very wealthy family, gets into early tech startup stuff. 9/11 happens. His fiancée is killed in the tower, so he devotes himself to the military, goes to 10th Mountain Division, is wounded overseas, comes back. But the whole point of all this is so he can find out information that the rest of us don't have, because the president doesn't have a security clearance. The president can look at anything that they want. President probably wouldn't pass a security check like the rest of us have to get in the military, or that FBI agents or CIA operatives have to get. So that was the whole point of the novel. So yes, the presidents do have access to really anything that they want, but they have to know what to ask for. So no one just walks in and says, "Here's all the secrets. What do you want to look at?"
Give me aliens.
You have to know. Yeah, exactly. Alien stuff. So if you have to actually know where to look, what to ask for, those sorts of things. And you can task people, of course, but if you don't know the questions to ask, then you don't get those kind of answers that you're looking for. So, it was definitely interesting. So it's a character that people really like.
I believe I heard somewhere that maybe it's as soon as June 15th, but they're going to turn over all of what they know about UFOs. The